And if this may not necessarily work for you because I'm going to do it the way that you want. You started. So, could you do me a favor? Could you read question 4 to me? What the actual problem is?
Yeah.
1, 4, -6.
What's that?
What's that?
Is that
3 variables. Yep. I put lines through my z's so they don't look like 2's. Okay, and then we have 2, -1, 2. 2 minus 1 plus 2, 2 minus 1 plus 2, -x plus 2y. Then what? Minus 4z. Sure I wrote that down right. I think I did. Okay. And I told you the answer was -3, -1, -1. Also, I want to be real clear on this. I think that pretty much all of you, if not all of you, knew this. I had somebody in my other class. I said, okay, the answer is this. I want you to actually, show that that's the answer. They said, well, okay, I plugged in these numbers and they worked. That's not the way I want you to do it, okay? I know that's the right answer, okay, unless the computer's wrong, okay? I want you to actually work through the problem to get to the right answer, okay? So just plugging in the numbers isn't going to necessarily work, okay? So we all set? What did you do first? I'm going to label these equations 1, 2, and 3.
and then I don't even know. I'm so stuck.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's just start over from scratch. Well, you have a question? Or what do you want to do?
Wait.
I want to add, I want to take away the x, so I want to add number 1 and number
Number 1 and what?
3.
Number 3. I would probably go with that, okay?
I remember one.
Okay, well, I mean, but then you could do that. We'll eventually deal with that. But I mean, right now, 1 and 3 will cancel right now, okay? And again, I would deal with the x's. I wouldn't do the z's first. There's numbers in front of all those, okay? And the y's, there's only one y here. We have 2 of them that have just x. So if we added 1 and 3 right now, the x's are going to cancel. X plus -x cancels. 4y and 2y is 6y. -6z and -4z is -10z. You can move over here if you want. Just so you can see going over there. And -1 and +5 is 4. So we have these gone. 6y minus 10z equals 4. Now, we can't solve that equation. It's impossible. There's not enough information. Yes, ma'am? What's that, 2 and 3?
Yeah, 2.
Now, do you want to add 2 and 3 right now? I mean, just go ahead and add them up right now the way they are?
Oh,
No,
no.
nothing would cancel. Now, we still have to stick with getting rid of the x's. We got rid of the x's once. We got to get the x's a second time. Now, you said 2 and 3. Could we have done 1 and 2 to get rid of the x's? A little bit, because this one's positive, this one's negative. This is a 2x. You would love for that to be a what?
2, so
-2x. So you do what?
multiply by 2.
Multiply what by 2?
Oh.
All of this. What do I do to this equation?
Wait,
Leave it alone. So I'm going to just put times 2 right here.
wait,
So-
why would you charge me by 2?
We want to cancel these. We want to cancel the x's. If we add 2 and -1, those don't cancel. But 2 and -2, when you add those, they cancel.
So you have to do all of
Times
these?
everything on this third equation by 2. So if I do that, we're going to have -2x, +4y. I would just watch. I tell you what, I would watch this one. I wouldn't even copy it down, okay? Because we're going to do every problem we do is that we're going to do the same process. I would simply just watch. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out what x is, what y is, and what z is. Okay? We have to eliminate a variable. Okay? Here it said let's add the first and third equations together. The x's go x plus -x gone. 4 and 2 is 6y. -6 and -4 is -10. -1 and 5 is 4. We need to eliminate another x. Instead of the first and third, we chose to do the second and third. But we don't want to add them up right now because they won't cancel. 2 and -1 don't cancel. 2 and -2 would cancel. So we're going to times everything here by 2. So -2x plus 4y minus 8z equals, don't forget to times this by 2, 10. Now I'm going to recopy the second equation right over here just to make it a little more organized. 2x minus y z is negative 7. Okay, now when we add them up, these are going to cancel. See, okay? These are going to add up to 3y. These are going to add up to negative 6z. These are going to add up to 3. Okay? Now we can solve this. Yes, ma'am?
You have 2x minus y, but you have to multiply 2y by 2, so it'd be 4y, wouldn't it?
No, we're timesing the third equation by 2. This one right here, I simply just recopied the second
Oh,
equation.
I thought that was the third one, sorry.
No, and I'm glad you brought that up. I would really encourage this. Could I have taken this third equation and wrote it up here and wrote this one down there? I could have, but we'll start moving things all over the place. This is confusing enough. You start moving things all over the place.
I got mixed up.
Right, but I'm glad you said that though. So I mean, you can do that, but don't, okay? All right, so now we can solve this. We've already eliminated the x's. We gotta either eliminate the y's or the z's. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one we eliminate next, okay? I'm gonna choose, what do you wanna, yeah, you guys wanna hear? I really don't care. The y's or the z's, would you say? Say that again? The y's. Now, let me ask you this. When you see 3 and 6, does one of those go into the other one? Sure. 3 goes into 6 times by 2. But do we really want 6 and 6? We want 6 and...
Negative.
So we're going to times this not by 2.
Negative.
And what am I going to do to this equation? The top one. Leave it alone. I'm going to write it over here, though. 6y minus 10z equals 4. Times by negative 2 times 3 is negative 6y. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12z. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Now, when we add them up, the y's are going to go away. These add up to nothing. These add up to 2z. These add up to negative 2. Divide by 2, and we get z is negative 2 divided by 2, which is negative 1.
But then you have to solve for all the other ones.
Yep, and if you're thinking, no, whoa. I'm glad you did that, seriously. We got 2 more of these to do. You know, once you've done one of them, the other 2 come really, really quick.
Oh, can you
Once you get one of them, the rest of the problem, we've done 80% of the problem already, I would say. So what we do is we work backwards. We know z is negative 1, so we're going to use one of these equations. You can use either any of these right here, not the original ones, okay? I'm going to use this one right here. It doesn't matter. 3y minus 6z is 3, but now we know z is negative 1. So 3y minus 6 times negative 1 is 3. Negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. Subtract 6. 3y is 3 minus 6, which is negative 3. Divide by 3. Y equals negative 3 divided by 3, which is negative 1. Oh, also, I should have told you guys this. Let's say you were doing this last night. And let's say you did this work and you got to z and it said z is negative 7. Just say z is negative 7. Should you keep going forward, would you say? If you found out that z was... No, you know the answer is z is negative 1. If you didn't come up with negative 1, if you keep going forward, you're going to make a mistake. It's going to be wrong, okay?
Well, I thought we eliminated.
Say it again?
We eliminated the x's.
Right.
And then we eliminated the y's behind the z.
We eliminated the x's first, and then we eliminated the y's, yes. Yep, now we're backtracking. Okay, you see what I'm saying there? I told you the answer. I said it was negative 3, negative 1, negative 1. Had I worked through this and came up with an answer that z was something other than negative 1, you screwed up somewhere. Don't go forward, back up and see if you can find your mistake, okay? Now we're not done because we still have to find out what x is. And how do I find x? I use any of these. I'm going to use the top one. X plus 4y, oh, that looks terrible, minus 6z equals negative 1. We don't know what x is, but 4 times y is negative 1, minus 6 times negative 1 equals negative 1. I simply plugged in negative 1 and negative 1. Again, how did I know which of these to pick? It doesn't matter. Whichever one you want. Let's clean this up. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. Put together negative 4 and 6, and that's positive 2. Subtract 2. X is negative 1 minus 2, which is negative 3. Negative 3, negative 1, negative 1. These are not easy, okay? And I don't want to sound like I'm being insensitive here, but a lot of times every year some students will say, I get it when he's at the board and when he explains it, it makes sense to me, but when I do it on myself, I just struggle with it. I get that. I understand that, okay? Good news is we're not taking a test over this for another week and a half or so, okay? But you're gonna have to do these on your own. Watching is not, if you watch, pay attention, ask questions, write stuff down, great. It's not good enough, okay? I mean, for example, football, this past week, football players, would you guys agree that watching film of your opponent, over and over and over is good preparation for your game or not?
Like sufficient? Like to win the game.
I'm just asking, is it good preparation? Is it good to be watching film of your opponent?
Yes.
If that's the only thing you do all week, is that gonna be the best thing for you? What do you gotta do? Get out there and practice. You gotta do it.
Video makes you stronger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, watching video, it does prepare you, but not good enough. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch video, but you gotta practice, okay? All right, let's try another one, okay? So, let's see, we did 3, 5. Let's do an easier one, a little bit easier one, okay? I think it's, well, I say that because I'm looking at the answer. I think it will be easier. The good news, I mean, if you understand how to do this problem, you're pretty much set for this section, okay? It's the same type process over and over and over, okay? I wouldn't even write, just just write down the answer. I mean, I gave them the answer yesterday, and I said, go ahead and try to work through it, okay? I just didn't want you writing everything down, and then you have everything, and then where did all this come from, okay? So, this next one, I believe, will be a little bit shorter, only because I'm looking at the answer, okay? And it's something we haven't talked about yet. Let's look at question number, let's see. We're going to skip number 6. We did 5 together. We've done 3, 4, and 5. Let's skip 6 for right now. The very next one on the assignment is problem number 11. Let's look at problem number 11. So they give us 3x minus y plus 2z, 3x minus y plus 2z, I think that's what it says. 3x minus y plus 2z equals 4, negative 8 and 10. Okay, 6 minus 2 plus 4, 6 minus 2 plus 4z. 2 minus 1 plus 3, 2 minus 1 plus, what did I say? 3z. Write it down, but I might have made a mistake. I just want to make sure. 4, negative 8 and 10. That's good. 3, negative 1, 2. 3, negative 1, 2. 6, negative 2, 4. And 2, negative 1, 3. Okay, so. All right, so. What do you want to eliminate? The x's or the y? Yes, sir.
The x's, because 3 can go in 6 places.
I'm not disagreeing with that one. I'm going to stick with what I've been telling you guys. I agree. 3 does go into 6 and 2 does go into 6.
Let's get rid of 1 and 3.
Why would you say the y's? Right. Forget the negatives. Just y, just y. I mean, one y, negative 1y. Okay. Now you're not wrong if you want to get rid of the x's. I get that. Because 3 goes into 6 and 2 goes into 6. He's picking 1 because 1 goes into everything. 1 goes into everything. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little trick here for a second. We did this yesterday. Which equations would you want to work with first? First and second, second and third, or first and third?
First and third.
I would say the first and third. Now, just watch. We're going to just hang out here for a second, save you a little bit of time. Do you want to add the first and the third together right now?
No.
No. What is negative y? What would negative y cancel with? Positive y. So I'd love for one of these to be positive. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to make this one positive, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. How do you make a negative 1 turn into a positive 1? And when you times by, we're going to times everything by negative 1, which means we're going to take everything and make it, I don't want to use the word negative. Opposite. I like opposite better. Okay? So I'm just going to do this. Negative, positive, negative, negative. Okay? Rather than write the whole equation again, just change the signs. Now what are we going to do? 1 and 2, 2 and 3, or 1 and 3? 1 and 3. 1 plus 3. If we do that,